My guest today is Luis Murillo. He grew up between Chicago, Dallas, and Mexico, and before he was 20, he was sentenced to 7 years in the Texas prison system. He survived one of the most dangerous prison systems in America without joining a gang. Today, he's telling that story.
I was born in Chicago, Illinois. I went straight to the South Side. That's like one of the more gang infested neighborhoods. But my parents is like Mexican immigrants, so I'm the first generation Mexican American. So it's like kind of like a freestyle. Like it ain't no telling how it can go. But I stayed over there till like about the time I was getting ready to do first grade. But while I was over there, I mean, I had a lot of shit that I could remember. I just knew it was more like my mom's family is either in Jalisco, Mexico, which is like central Mexico, or the rest of her family that immigrated. They in Chicago and shit. So my mom's family is more like more in Chicago. My dad's family was in Texas, Dallas, right? But I ain't moved to Dallas yet. This time I was just in Chicago, and my mom's family, they always was like my favorite to come around. They was fun. Like they had the get together. I just remember block parties. I remember actual block parties. The neighbors, we talking to each other, stuff like that. But I also remember like um I always got like this trauma with the police, right? Like the police, they gonna scare me every time, bro, no matter what they do. But it started back then, like my mama did a hit and run. And I remember this like the first time I seen police come running into our house, come in and swarm. And that was in Chicago. I stayed off 57th in Sacramento. And not only did that start off with like having bad encounters with the police, but I also just remember like getting our house broke into and remembering that shit. Like um they had like my mom used to have a lot of jewelry, and I just remember like they took all that shit. I used to have like I remember I had a necklace that had my name on it and shit, and she was gone, right? But I was my mom's only child, but my dad at that time, he had another daughter by another woman, and she stayed on the other side of town. So it was like I kind of had my sister in my life, but I kind of didn't because it was like she didn't stay with us. And then I just remember young too though, like I always seen like never talked about this shit, right? But I seen like the black figures on the wall, like was considered to be ghosts or whatever the fuck they want to call them. But I used to think it was the people that were trying to break into the house again. You know what I'm saying? But I just remember that. I remember that about Chicago, and it was like it was way faster until I finally moved to Texas with my aunt. My aunt stayed in Mesquite, Texas, but it's like Motley Drive and Townies. That's like the first neighborhood that starts Mesquite. But there's like a college campus called Eastfield College. That's an actual Dallas bus stop. So it's kind of like I'm close to Dallas, but I'm also in the beginning of Mesquite. So I'm gonna go to Mesquite School Independent District and shit. And my dad chose to move me out there because obviously, trying to dodge all the shit that go on in Chicago. And I just did some research too that like the gang that the gangs that was in charge of that territory we was in, they the gang one of the gangs is called Satan's Disciples, the SDs and stuff, right? And I just found that out. But at first I just hear about the GDs and Vice Lords, but just to hear about a gang called the Satan's Disciples, that shit crazy because that's what I literally dodged. You know what I'm saying? I got out the way from that. So when I came to Texas, it's just like I just knew it was a difference between Texas and Chicago, but at the same time, like, my family wasn't in no street shit. Like, they come strictly from Mexico to work, construction. That's all my dad knew at first. Like, he came to this country young, like 16. He didn't finish school. My mom, she didn't finish middle school. So they just had it in their head programmed to just work, 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 right? Break their back doing that shit. And came to Texas, it's like they just gotta start all over, gaining resources and shit. So my mom, she went from being housekeeping in Chicago to being a cleaning lady for a rich white lady and shit. And she used to give my mama gifts for me. I remember that. And then she also started being a waitress. She worked at Golden Corral as a waitress for, since I can remember, 2006. We moved 2004, 2005. Still to this day, she work up there, right? But that's how it started, came to Mesquite and moved in with my aunt. At first, it was just me and my dad. Like, my dad got a fucked up way of like, he ended up splitting with my mom later on in the story, but at this time we were together. But he just, like, this how he made his mind up that he was gonna leave Chicago. He just one day was like, packed the white van, filled it with all the belongings, and just head to Texas. And my mom like, hey, where you go? My dad like, shit, you bring your ass to Texas with us, or you stay up there. So that's my dad. That's how my dad was. So whole time I'm like, I'm separated from my mom, getting introduced to my dad's family, but I never really like got along with certain cousins and shit. Like, that's where I started like running into people that didn't like me. Cause in Chicago I could have sworn like it was way more love, but now I come out here, it's like my cousins and shit were kind of like nerdy. Like, they had computers and shit, PCs, and that's when I first started seeing that. And I just remember, like, they were having that shit and they wouldn't share that shit with me. I don't know if it was 'cause I was too young, but I just took rejection. Like, okay, I ain't gonna ask no more. And it's just the new program that I started getting used to when I came to Texas. And my mom eventually came down here after like damn near a year or something. But the whole time I'm just like, I'm adapting to the schools. Like, at first I was going to a bilingual school, and down there in Chicago, the bilingual schools was basically all Spanish. So for me to come at the end of kindergarten and start school in Texas, I almost failed just because I didn't know the language. My parents don't speak English. Like, I don't speak English in the house. Never did. It's just all Spanish. Like, that was my first language. And elementary was mostly like learn how to stay out the way. Cause I remember, like, back then you'll get color changes and shit. And I got like two color changes. One for talking. When they put me in the isolation table, I started drawing on myself, getting tattoos and shit, drop my color again. And that was the last time I ever got in trouble because my dad was in my life, right? And he just instilled the fear in me. So, like, I just like, man, I better not do shit else. Ever since then, I just learned, like, stay out the way, right? But at the same time, like, I'm secretly waiting for, like, to get rid of my dad. Like, I don't like this mean structure that he got on me, and I can't do nothing. Like, later on, when they split, it was just like I kind of broke away from that. But before they split, in elementary, my mom came down here, and in the Mexican culture, it's very like coming to have like 50-year anniversary weddings. Like, my grandparents, they stuck together, you know what I'm saying, on both sides. Like, it's a Mexican thing to just to stay together, it's in their culture. But being that my dad is like coming over here, starting a new way with a new culture, it kind of like it broke up that ethic that they had. Even though he tried though, cause they ended up. I remember my mom and my dad had a wedding, right? And the weddings would be in Mexico. So after I moved from Chicago, came to Texas, I would spend like the school year in Texas. didn't have no friends really. Just had my family that I talked to. But like I said, like the family I had, they were too older. They were older than me. They didn't could relate with me, or if they did, it was just like a limit. You know, I can't hang too long with them. You know how that is. But I ended up like going to Mexico for all my summers. So as soon as I finished school, like it's a routine. Like I'll get sent straight to Mexico, whether it was in Guanajuato where my dad's family is, or Jalisco where my mom's family is. But I started going with my dad's family, and when I started taking them trips to Mexico, you know, I just started seeing a new way. And it influenced me still to this day. But at that time, when you growing up, you don't know that damn this shit is really like it's affecting who you are. But going down there, I really got to see poverty, bro. Like I got to see like I remember my grandma's house, just coming over there. When you turn the shower on, the shower head ain't gonna shoot all the little holes out. That bitch gonna drip a big ass, you know, shit like that. I just knew that we had it better in America. Like in America, we got way more better appliances and jobs, opportunity. But when I go down there, it's like I'm going for a vacation. So it's like I'm not really like looking at it like they got it worse than us. If anything, it's like in them my childhood moments to where I had the most fun of my life down there as a kid, being around my family down there and shit, right? But yeah, that was like that's how it started. Like went from Chicago, couldn't settle there for too long, then went to Texas, and then making sure I go to Mexico, making sure that all my family knows me, cause my mom got like 7 siblings and my dad got like 8 siblings. So they come from them big families like that. So it's like it's mandatory when I'm young. You gotta go meet your uncles. You gotta go meet your grandparents. Like my grandparents' house was both of them, both families. I had to go across the border. You know what I'm saying? I didn't have them down the street or down a couple states next door. I just had to go to a different country for that. But it just that experience though, that shit was humbling. Yeah.
When did you get back to the US?
Um. So like in Texas, school be finished by like May, right? So right when May hit, I'm talking about no exaggeration. I go with my cousin. I drive down there. I either take the bus or ride with my uncles and shit. So I was kind of always third wheeling with other uncles and shit. Cause my dad, and my mom, like they just had like they'll just put me wherever in whoever car as long as I get down there. But if I left in May, I'll stay down there till like late August. So it's like at least 3 4 months out of every year, I'm just staying down there. It'd be to the point where like our school year is over. When I go down there, they still got school, and now I start going to school with my cousin now, and I start seeing how different the classrooms are over there, and no AC shit like that, right? But I'm getting looked at like I'm foreign, like I'm just a fancy ass creature, and then my people are like, yeah, he from. They call it Estados Unidos. It's just that shit. That shit sound notorious for them. They just get awed and they be impressed, bro. Yeah, but I end up eventually coming back. I stayed in that 3 4 months every year. That was up until like when became a teenager. That I stopped going so much because I started getting in the street out here and having the culture in America in Texas. That shit just was heavily influencing me. 'Cause at that point, when I got like a teenager, and my dad and my mom, they split after their wedding. You know what I'm saying? They had a wedding in Chicago. I mean, a wedding in Mexico, but like years later, shit turned to a divorce, and like it just my life turned to like being more Americanized and yeah,
So do you think the split was what caused you to go into the streets?
hell yeah, cause like if my dad was in the house, now I wouldn't be doing none of this shit that I ever thought of, cause like he used to run the house, you know what I'm saying? But I remember I was in the 8th grade, and what my dad family do in Mesquite on one street, that same house that I moved into where my aunts and shit came from Chicago. At that point, they owned my mom's, my dad's family only owned one house on that street. But throughout all the years that I spent up until like from elementary to middle school, I had like two, three uncles. I mean, three extra houses on that street bought all together. Like my dad's family would come and put in and try to like invest in the house on that same street, and they ended up getting 2, 3 houses all together on that same street, right? And when I was like in the 8th grade, me and my mom was at one of the houses only to stay there for like half a semester, cause we just like we got to stay there for a little bit, but that was at the beginning of the split. And I remember my mom, she had no boyfriend, nothing. Like that shit new. Like stepdad shit, that's some American shit. So like I just felt like that shit, I wasn't gonna go through that. Like I just couldn't accept it in my head as a child. I don't know why. But I just like I said, the culture is so heavily influenced in me being Mexican, and not, that's not no regular thing seeing step parents and shit, right? But when my mom started like beginning her like single journey, she ended up meeting one of her like sweethearts from back in the day, right? And I had met him on a previous occasion before I even had the idea that they were talking, right? But my mom tried to hide him from me, and I used to go outside, play at the basketball court. Like I used to come home when the lights are cut off. The lights are cut off like around 10. But sometimes when we up there with the whole with all the guys being young, the crew we had, we'll stay past the lights cut off. Like with the lights cut off, we still up there and shit. But I remember like during that time, my mom used to blow my phone up. Like, where you at, man? Come to the house. You gonna come to the house, it's time. But this specific day, I'm running late. She hasn't even hit me up, right? And I come in, and like I'm getting ready to like kiss her good night. It was a routine that I had. And then something told me to look in the closet. So I go look in the closet, and I see a grown man in there hiding, right? And that's like the first time my mom ever seen me just spaz out. Cause I just thought the instinct, survival instinct, just as a boy, but I thought I was a man, but I had threatened to kill him. You know what I'm saying? He ended up like running out, scared. My mom, it was hysterical. But it's just like my mom never seen this shit come out of me. She didn't understand where it came from. But that's just how I went about it, just cause like I was just overprotective about my mom, right? But coming to find out, that dude that I did that to, still to this day, like his name Guillermo, one of the like the most positive, best influence that I've had. But he never forced himself on me. He always kept it like respectful, even though when I disrespect him, and I'm grateful for that, cause he showed a lot of grace. This big dude, he could fold me up. I'm threatening him, talking about I'm gonna kill him. He could have killed me with his bare hands, but he respected my heart. You know what I'm saying? And he ended up like staying around till this day. And that shit happened like when I was 14, 13 and shit. But yeah, that's how that went.
What was the first moment you entered the streets? Describe that for us.
I want to say when I ran from the police, like my first time running from the police, I felt like shit. That's when like it's just it came like a lifestyle. It came to be a lifestyle. Like it wasn't hard for me to just continue breaking the law that was lawless. You know what I'm saying? But it had to do a lot with the people that were around. But it's strength in numbers. So like the more of us, the wilder it'll get. And everybody got their own little statistic that they putting up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got their own point that they want to prove and shit. But to be real, shit, I was just living, adapting, You know, I wanted to be a basketball player. That would be like my only way out to go to college and shit. Even though I'm smart and shit, but I knew it was people smarter than me. And so it's like that, like hooping so long with the people that I'm playing basketball with, we trying to trick ourselves into believing that we're gonna go to college and shit, but we fuck around and leave and stay past curfew, running from the police, try to go chase bitches. And this all like 14, 13 years old. But these the signs of a rebellious teen. Like, you gotta have structure. You gotta be in the house at a certain time. The group of kids that I was running with, shit, we didn't have that. We had a long ass leash, and our mamas let us do whatever. You know, we ain't had no like real like male role models that would like teach how I feel that I want to teach. You know what I'm saying? Teaching the youngsters about the stock market or just literature. You know what I'm saying? Pulling up and telling a young nigga to read. Like, I didn't hear that till I went to prison and shit. I was around some whole different shit. Being around like I want to say like grimy people. And I thought that was cool. Like, I thought it was cool to be the grimiest one. Cause obviously if you're not grimy enough, something gonna happen to you. Well, that's what I was seeing. People like getting their shit took, people getting embarrassed. Not to say that I wasn't getting embarrassed. Everybody was getting embarrassed some way, somehow. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like it's a lot of egos floating around. Being young and high expectations. Really like too high for somebody so young and so stupid. And I'm speaking for the group that I came up with, cause that same group of people I came up with, like, you know, they got names in the city, they got face cards and shit. They like they somebodies, you know what I'm saying? But we all grew up together though.
Why do you think you threw out the values your dad instilled in you as a kid once he left? Do you think it was just too strict and you wanted freedom, or?
Cause it's like my dad wanted me to be a certain way. And once he seen that I wasn't turning out to be that, it's like it grew friction. So not only was it that he was too strict, but it wasn't no love that I felt, right? But you know, like my dad never had a right way of showing his love. Like, still to this day, I try to figure that shit out. But he never was really like conversational. He never really would talk to me. He'll just say no type shit to a lot of stuff. But he wouldn't say why or nothing. So it's like I never like felt no real connection. Like especially, you know, a dad, you gotta get taught by your dad. You gotta like lace your son up. But my dad never really talked, you know what I'm saying? So it's kinda like just felt like he didn't like me. I felt kind of like a disgrace, you know what I'm saying? To where at the beginning it was kind of hurtful, but it, like, the older I got, it'll grow more resentment, and then I'll start shooting shit at him, like shooting the shit, like being disrespectful, you know what I'm saying? Rebellious. But I ended up paying for that shit in the long run. Like not honoring my parents, you know, no matter what, even if they were in the wrong order, right? You know, it don't give me the right to just go overboard. You know what I'm saying?
Did you end up finishing high school?
Yeah, I finished high school. Yeah.
And where do you go after high school?
To be honest, I felt like high school kept me out of trouble, cause like it helped me maneuver. Like, school start like at 8:45. Probably won't get there till like 9:30. But I'm still showing up. Then I stay for the free lunch. Might get there early just to get the breakfast, but I'm gonna get the other lunch later. And then really I come up here to network, come up here to like understand there's school going on, but like with the school that I went to, it'll be times when like everybody will rush to the restroom, big dice game going on. You know, back then you got the phone and shit, so everybody could create a group chat. Back then they had Kick. a kick messaging out, and yeah, that shit was like organized crime, bro. To be under, like, allegedly, just kids just coming together and making their own rules and shit. So that's what school kind of was for me. But I just knew to stay within these guidelines or these rules, trying not to like blow your cover. And I always was good at that. I always was good at, like I said, staying out the way. But I'm still somehow in a mix. But yeah, that shit had helped me stay out of jail, and it gave me something to do. But after high school, literally graduated 2016, and my first time going to the county was July 4th, 2016. I went to jail for burglary of a vehicle. The first time, at this time, I started taking Xanax. I had like I had traumatic events with my mama, with friends, just felt betrayal, like best friends and girlfriends just getting done the worst way, getting introduced to life early, like seeing that down your right hand man might fuck your bitch behind your back. Like I'm going through that in high school, or like my mom, I'm seeing that damn the traumas that she had when she was younger, that shit starting to come out. She can't keep it in that long, and the way she's expressing herself about it, it's giving me trauma. I ain't gonna bring up the shit she was doing because I love her, right? And other stuff, like I got partners that's older than me, and they motivating me to go to school, making sure that I'm in school. Then after I remember his name Boo, he got killed in North Dallas, got shot in the back of his head, and people he was with that was supposed to be your partner, they playing dead. You know what I'm saying? These the same people I'm thinking that, damn, I'm thinking y'all gangsters, but y'all playing dead and shit. So I'm in high school trying to like understand this, but everybody else, like, they worry about what college they going to. They playing sports, mind you. After that basketball shit was over with, like they just knew we can't have them type of people in our program. So it kind of like, I'm just gonna kick them to the curb, and I'm a product of that. So like I didn't stay free for too long, and that was the reason why I overused them Xanax, taking too many. But shit, first time going to jail, I was on the Xanax, and my friend had July 4th supposed to call up somebody to get some weed, just trying to smoke, right? Nothing too crazy. So it's a grown man, mind you. I'm 18, fresh out of high school. Then my partner, this the same partner I got that like we known for like taking shit at the school. Like our partner served him a little bit of weed, so for try to turn up his trap. Then like we know he just got the trap. So like, oh, we gonna come act like we gonna buy that off you, then take this shit from you. But it's like we sticking together doing that shit. Like, I don't know, it really was childish, right? It was just playing with our life, being ignorant. But it went from doing it to people that's our age in school to trying to do this shit to a grown man. And dude came trying to drop the weed off, and he served it, gave me a small ass ground, 2 grams of 20, something like that. And he pulled off. I tell my partner, man, call him back up here, bro. That nigga shorted me. Let me talk to him. I say, damn, I sell weed, bro. You gave me a short ass ground. Old dude, yeah, I got you, bro. I'm gonna let you pick it out the bag. Bet. So in my head, I'm telling you, bro, when he pulled that bag out, I'm gonna snatch that shit around, like just dumb, bro. Like that's how I was thinking, not just in that situation, but in whatever situation that I just felt it was necessary, just cause I just threw a fit. But mind you, all this is stemming with behind the traumas and the betrayals and all the insecurities that I got just growing up in the environment, being fucked over too much, feeling that I've been fucked over too much. So this dude pull up, I'm waiting on him to pull up. Mind you, my partner, he don't never give the plays like the address to his place. He always give him 4 houses down, 5 houses down, and he'll meet him in the street, right? So that was already overstood. It's nighttime. We walking, pacing the street, waiting for the car to come. My first time going to jail. And the street was hot because they were breaking in houses earlier through the day. It wasn't us though. But shit, that street was hot because of that. So the police, Mesquite Police Department, man, I'm finna tell you how bad it is, how notorious that police department is. So we at the top of the street. We see a car with the headlights coming up at a stop sign down the block. We think it's the dude. We think it's the dude that's finna come with the weed, and I'm like, I'm finna wait for him to come up and finna snatch this shit. But mind you, I had a pill bottle just like this, bro, and it had Xanax in it. But I was like, all right, I don't want to lose this shit. So my partner, baby mama car was parked in front of his house. Mind you, the car gotta be probably a block down, but they see that it's people in the street, right? Whole time it's the police, but we don't know it's the police. We think it's the dude we finna rob. But he see me walk back to my partner, baby mama car, and I put the pill bottle in the gas thing, the gas cap. The gas cap could stay closed, but you know when you open the little handle, you can shove the shit and close it. I walk back on the other side. Whole time the police seeing that ass, he think I'm burglarizing the vehicle, but I don't know this shit. So I'm like, damn, we're waiting for the car to creep up, get closer. And the closer it get, we see it's the police. I'm like, damn, so you know, we try to keep walking, acting like he gonna pass us up. Nah, they parked the car, they jump out that bitch. What y'all doing? What y'all doing? You messing with that car? We ain't saying nothing. You know, you don't say nothing, they get mad even more. Hey, sit down. Whole time I'm on the bar, I smell like we look like a zombie. I'm trying to act normal though. You know what I'm saying? Then my partner sitting down and they just questioning us. Man, what y'all got doing? Like, mind you, they had burglaries in the houses earlier that day, so they probably think it's us, but we know they can't get nothing out of us till like they said, man, so I seen you walk to that car, you don't want to say nothing, we're gonna go ahead and book you burglary of vehicle. Put your hands behind your back. Man, fuck, you know, July 4th, 2016, just finished high school like last month. This is my first time going to jail. I'm like, man, fuck it, bro. I guess this just what it's gonna be. Like Mesquite Police Department charge you for this shit. You can't do nothing about it. Sitting in the back of the cop car. So I'm thinking my partner finna get let off. They say you going to jail for jaywalking. Man, you put the handcuffs on that boy. We in the back of that bench. Hell yeah, that's what Mesquite Police Department did to us. So listen, 2016, July 4th, we went to Mesquite City Jail. My partner get bonded out quick. You know what I'm saying? These people come get him. Mind you, I don't at this time, I don't got no relationship with my dad and my mom. She had just left to Arkansas with her family. So I don't got nobody down here, but I got enough money to bond myself out in my pocket. My bond was probably like $200. I had like $300 on me. And luckily I didn't have the pills. If I would have got the pills charged, that would have been a whole felony. But the shit that they charged me with, even though it was like a false charge, it was only a misdemeanor. So I just sit, they tell me, my partner before he leave, like, what's up, bitch? You want me to tell my people come get you, just give them the money? Nah, I'ma sit. This shit ain't nothing. That was my first instinct in jail. Like I'm already thinking about time served and shit. Like and I got moved to Dallas County jail. Hit that bitch for the first time, being around adults and shit. But it's kind of like a field trip, bro. Like you know when you lose the fear of incarceration, it's like it ain't nothing after that. Sadly, you know what I'm saying? Like you hear all this other shit on the movies and the stories, like, but when you see it do get bad, but it's just like it's times and places for that. But once I seen what it was and meeting different types of people, different types of stories, then you see people down there that got murders and like they don't get a chance to come home tomorrow and shit. All that was a humbling experience. The whole time, it's like 3 days go by. When you get a first offense in Dallas, you're eligible for a it's like a free ass bond that they give you. I forgot what it's called, bro. But like, oh, since you just got here, it's a PR bond. Go on, pay $40 to get out, even though your bond like $200. Just sign this paperwork, have somebody to come up here and sign on your behalf, and just pay $40. PR bond. July 7th, 2016. My mom get her friend to do that for me because she not even in the city. Friend come sign off. I get released. The first time I ever get released out of the Dallas County Jail for something I didn't do, mind you. But I was finna do some whole other shit though. But I step out. I swear to God, bro. It's in the history books. It was quiet as fuck outside. Mind you, Dallas County, especially in the daytime, there's no reason for it to be quiet. It's big traffic. It's a lot of people, work going on. It's a weekday too. So it just caught my attention how quiet it was, bro. And then it was like I could never feel confident depending on people. I just never felt that. Mind you, like me being put in jail, like I ain't have nobody. Oh, we're gonna get you. We're gonna rush to get you out. If anything, like I got the chance to get myself out, and I'm still like I'm gonna keep my little money and just get time served. That's just my mind, right? But I still like I'm gonna call my partner and tell him to come get me. But I didn't even feel comfortable doing that because like he might not even pull up. And I don't even want to get rejected because I know how I feel to get rejected. I avoid getting rejected. I just won't ask. But I happened to call him, right? And he pulled up quick. It was too quick. I didn't believe that shit. I'm doubting if he'll come get me. Free Sleeper, he came and got me in the expedition, went in front of the county, got in that bitch. When we driving off, we see like 4 cop cars parked quiet. Like it's a lot of squad cars, right? July 7th, bro, 2016. I'm leaving downtown. That's right when Makai Johnson had came and ambushed Dallas Police Department. Start killing them 4 or 5 officers dead, shit like that, right? They ended up that same day when I got out at nighttime. They ended up killing him using a real robot. Like that's the only time they ever had the government go issue a fucking robot to kill somebody. That shit was 2016. But yeah, that was my first time getting put in jail for something I didn't do, and the police died afterwards.
Wow.
Hell yeah. But then I went back for more shit after that. But that's how it started. That's how the school kept me out of jail. But once I just couldn't go to school no more, that shit started getting bad.
Now, do you end up clicking up with a gang on the streets?
It's like this is what I understand about gangs, right? It's a bunch of people from broken homes that's just creating their own family. So it's like I gotta be careful how like what I was a part of, like, cause the police be on a nigga trail, bro. Like I know they gonna watch this shit, so I gotta make sure I present this shit the right way. I was never in no gang, but the family I was part of, like they could look at us and call us a gang, but it's really like I say, just Miss Trina. This is like my godmother, and she's a black woman. Mind you, I told you, this a street. It's like 3 family members stay on this street, right? But it's like I got uncle that don't open the door for me when I knock. I got another aunt. She driving down the street. She see me walking. She act like she don't see me. But Miss Trina, she stay in the block next over to them, literally, and she'll let me sleep on the floor. She'll let me sleep on the couch. She'll feed me. You know what I'm saying? If I ever need somewhere to go, if I did something, man, they gonna shelter me, right? But it's like she got 3 boys. It's 4 of them. It's Snoop, it's JR, Corey, and Fat. JR like my age. That was my first friend I ever had in the 8th grade. But I started getting cool with his brothers because his brothers love me. So like up to this time, like shit, we just, like I said, Mesquite, like that's considered a suburb, but we in the most hooded out part of the suburb. It's so hooded out that you got people from other hoods coming to this school and they're claiming other hoods. They're false claiming to me, and I was just like, damn, why y'all claiming that shit when all of us are over here And ain't nobody claiming this shit. That I'm really from Chicago. Miss Trina, Fat, all of them, Corey, they from Shreveport. So like we like out of towners, but we in the city every day to where we just stamped ourselves as a neighborhood, like, cause we just in our community. But that don't necessarily mean it's organized crime. It don't mean that. But you know, the police will be quick to pin that shit on, put their jacket on us. But really, we just there for each other. Whether it was food, whether it was jobs. Like I remember I got my first job at Whataburger. Man, I put everybody on. You know what I'm saying? And then it just that was when I was 16. So shit, like whenever, still to this day, like we get a resource, we sharing it amongst each other. It don't matter where we at, but that's what I consider what my family like. It's 3600 block. That's the area we stayed in. That's what the signs say on the street. You know what I'm saying? But it's different in every city, every culture got their own little program and routine. But man, we faced a lot of adversity. Like my little brother Fat, the ones that like I grew up with, he caught capital murder at 17. That shit made me cry, bro. Like I had friends that died, I couldn't cry, but when I see my little nigga catch capital murder, that shit made me cry, you know. But that's type of shit that we came up under. He beat it, right? Then I went to prison, but I overcame that shit.
Why did you go to prison?
I had 2 aggravated robberies and 1 aggravated assault. But this what happened though. I was getting a lot of bullshit cases, pistol cases, burglaries, possessions, all misdemeanors. So every time I go to the county, I get a slap on the wrist. I'm not learning my lesson. I'm not even tripping, cause I don't know what it feel like to get a felony, right? But the first time I get questioned about a felony, 2017, they try to like pin an extra charge on me, but they couldn't because it wasn't enough evidence, right? So it's like I always sat in the county, I'ma sit, time served. Like I'm not gonna pay these. Ain't nobody gonna pay to get me anyways. And if I do got money, I gotta keep this money. Cause when I get out, I gotta have something. So I always just I was able to sit for a little bit up until when I got that first felony. They questioned me about it, but didn't indict me. Whole time the system playing the game like, all right, we're gonna put this case to the side, and when he catch some more cases, which that's exactly what I did, fell victim to their little system game they running. It's like, all right, when he come back on some more charges, we're just gonna pin this bitch back on him. And that's exactly what happened, cause a couple months later, I used to gamble a lot, right? And I just got tired of losing, bro. So one day after a bad gambling night, shit, I couldn't sleep. Next morning, 5 a.m., the sun out. I'm putting a mask on. You know, I got colored eyes and shit. Man, the bitch in I had 2 victims on my case. It was a dude and it was a bitch, but women, I'm sorry. But the dude, he was like, he ain't wanna like come up off his shit, right? I just walked in the parking lot, sticked him up. He didn't want to come up off of it. So he was studying up. He was like an Indian dude. You know, he probably had more heart than the average American. He was like, yeah, no, I don't want to lose my car. So I was like, man, it's been other people in situations like that where they actually kill the dude because they don't know what they doing. But I seen the whole time it was a woman behind me watching. And she had like a Camaro and shit, right? Man, I ain't had no, like, I know it's wrong, but how my mom was getting done in Chicago, like I remember, like, man, my mom got different stories, and she'll have to talk about it, and I have to hear that shit. But at one time, she said when she was pregnant in Chicago, you know, one of them dudes tried to snatch her necklace and purse and end up near her in her stomach while she pregnant. So I gotta hear this shit. I gotta hear about that. I ain't showing my mom no mercy. So like, man, I just felt this excuse. I was able to go walk up on that woman and take her shit. You know, I ain't do nothing to her. I ain't harm her. But even if I didn't lay a finger on her and took her shit, it's still aggravated robbery. Still 5 to 99. And even though this last dude ain't come up off of it, off the gun, shit, that's another 5 to 99 for that. But it's just like, man, it's so much shit that I ain't get caught for it to where like, man, I got just it's just the system. You know what I'm saying? That's how you gotta think. Like, okay, well you know injustice serving right now, but think about all the other shit that you could, you know what I'm saying, got caught up for being young. But yeah, that's how I got my cases. I had 2 aggravated robberies and 1 aggravated assault with a deadly weapon.
Where were you gambling at? Was it just like private underground spots?
It's like dice games crank up everywhere in a basketball court, in apartment. Like remember I say I grew up going to the basketball court. I'm playing basketball at this court. This is where we come to, but they got a tennis court in between. That's where all the gambling go on. And I'm seeing people come in. They got bitches, bad bitches, got cars, money. It's like this the flashy shit going. This where you can see the flashy shit going in these type of places, people, places, and things. That's how that was. Like I'm trying to play basketball at the court, but shit, before you know it, man, I got like $4 in my pocket. Man, I'm finna jump in this dice game. And then now they getting to know you. So now you show that you got face people see you every day. And it's like, man, like I say, everybody got something to prove, bro. Everybody got their own ego that they wanna like, you know, they wanna stand on their business.
How much money did you lose that you needed to go rob someone?
That shit was like $500.
So it wasn't that much money.
But to me it was though, cause I was sick and tired of losing. You hear me? Then the drugs made it worse. Yeah.
Now,
just my mental health was off though. That's the number one thing though. Mental health was off.
Now, why not rob the people at the dice game or the people running it? Why go after innocent people? What was the logic behind that?
Shit. It's been times where like I did try to do that. And it's like, I remember Lil Fat, he was in the dice game. I had just got hit, right? And I walked out. And then like I told somebody like I'm finna go in there with my move. But Lil Fat was still gambling. Then they were like, I ain't even tell him nothing. You know what I'm saying? But it just like, that's my brother. So it's like, I remember like somebody tried to tell him something before I went with my move. I wasn't even finna tell him anything. And he you know, he ain't really like, he ain't appreciate that. Cause it be, even though it might just be one partner in the dice game that I fuck with. But if I gonna come rob this whole dice game, I'm gonna fuck up his face because of what I did. So I always was real like cautious of that. I don't want nobody to pay for what I'm doing. So that's why like, I don't know, that was just the smartest thing for me to do at that time. At the end of the day, it wasn't smart at all. Cause I had to like pay for the consequences every day for them decisions. But like I said, it was like, I ain't even playing that shit. I was just wandering off like, damn, I just lost my money. Like, I never said, as soon as I lose my money, I'm finna, you know what I'm saying? It was just like, it was like I got possessed, bro. I swear to God, cause I got dropped off and I just walked in, and at this time, like my mom, she been kicking me out since I was in 15, 16. Like I used to sleep in my car, bought my own car when I was young, but it was just like, I'm used to getting kicked out. But when I could stay with my mom, I like pop up every now and then. But this time, right before I caught my case, I was able to go in my mom's house, and it's on the camera and everything. Police came and took my mom's cameras. They seen me get dropped off, walk in, and then like 2 minutes later, just walk out. And all I did was just go in there and get my other gun, cause I had just gambled my other gun. This was crazy, bro. I had lost my money and my other gun, but that gun I had, it was stolen, right? So it kind of wasn't no loss to me. And my bullets, I was running out of bullets cause I was doing shit, right? But that's what I'm saying. I went to do these robberies with a gun that didn't have no bullets in it, just cause like I couldn't stand being broke for long. Just it was like kind of anxiety attack, bro. Like voice in my head, I gotta do something. Shit down the street, parking lot, of the apartments, man, just walk over there. And yeah, I didn't have no bullets. But when I took that car and came back, cause like I said, Mesquite right next to Dallas, so I left Mesquite. So the Mesquite Police Department is gonna be looking for me in Mesquite. I'm gonna go to Dallas. So I went to Dallas for a little bit in this apartment parking lot, just skimming through what I came across. Come to find out the poor lady was on her way to a job, don't got no money, and I'm just taking away from the poor, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I do feel bad about, cause like, you know, everybody out here, you know, they trying. And by me trying to take something from somebody, it's never gonna go good. But you know, the influences, and you see somebody else come up on the lick, it's like you think this shit gonna work out for you, but it never work out for nobody. But when I left the apartment and seen there wasn't nothing, my stupid ass came back to Mesquite. But only reason I came to Mesquite is because I was gonna go to this studio. And at this studio, I was just gonna post up there, try to record some music. At that time I was rapping. And I was gonna leave the car parked at this other parking lot, just walk over there. So like if they do track it, they ain't gonna find me. As soon as I got on the highway back to Mesquite, it was like like in Mesquite, the police department, they'll give a civilian a police car to where it say civilian next to the police car. So it's not a real police, but it's a civilian come do some voluntary police shit, right? And he got behind me and called the shit in. Oh, there go the red Camaro. He exiting this. So I come hit the back streets, and I'm on my way trying to run to the studio, right? After I told myself I'm parking away from the studio, but I'm gonna walk across the street. It was like a, you know, the Aldi grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
I had to walk past that parking lot before I reached the apartments that I was headed to. And I was thinking about, man, I need to dump the gun. But I was like, man, I'm hold on to that bitch. That's no one thing. Like, if you out here doing crime like that, you gotta get rid of your weapon, man. They just show you how unexperienced I was, just greedy. Nah, I gotta keep this. I don't got shit. And then they caught me with it. But for right when I started walking on the parking lot, man, they swarmed that bitch in, bro. And I swear to God, like, I didn't have no bullets in the gun. But it's like, I just the only reason I thought about that before they came slant me in my face is because, like, I got fantasy about, like, it's called holding court in the street, bro. You know, like I say, the police just feel like harassing me since I was young. Like, when I was in Chicago, they just ran in the house like that. I ain't tell you about the part when the whole SWAT came in my mama's house, 8th grade, by us just stepping outside looking at the helicopter. So like my partner was over there, and his sister called, like, don't step outside, it's a helicopter. So I come outside to look at the helicopter. Whole time they think it's us, and we just kids. And SWAT came in and ran down on us, pulled us out the house. We could have filed a lawsuit, but my mom, you know, she an immigrant. And I'm a young kid, like, we just all try to sweep this shit under the rug. But at the same time, it's growing this trauma for me. Like, I can't, I'm thinking police here to help us, public servants and peace officers. Shit, they drawing down on me every time, bro, coming in the house. So, like, up until that point, when I seen they ain't got no bullets in the gun, I said, I can't shoot it out these hoes. And I was like, that was my last thought before they slammed me, and I began my 4.5 year prison bid.
So how they give you 4.5 years, or?
I sat in the county for a year straight. Mind you, the aggravated assault with deadly weapon, they don't got no evidence on it. But they convicted me on this shit just because they said, okay, you got the 2 aggravated robberies. If you want to go to trial for this aggravated assault, you have to take these 2 aggravated robberies to trial also. But you're dead to the wrong on these. So we find you not guilty for these. You making us pay money to go try for this shit, or we're gonna smoke your ass for these hoes. For these 2 aggravated robberies, we'll give you 10, 15 each just for making us pay. So, like, with that coercion and just with them numbers, it's like, okay, I'll plead guilty to this shit, even though I'm not guilty. You know, that's how that went for me. But they was stuck at 10 years for a year. For a year straight, they didn't come off 10. And in Texas, aggravated time, you gotta do 50% of your time. So it was like 5 years before I come up for parole. You know, 5 years I gotta do flat. Then I'm able to be eligible for parole. Not meaning that I could get released, but it came down to a 7. Yeah, I signed up for pre-trial. That was scary too, bro. Cause like, man, you see so many people get fucked over, and then once they give you that number, shit, that's your problem now. Like they're going on to the next case, to the next inmate. So I was like, man, I had that shit was stressful, but I brought it down. They came to a 7-year sentence, signed for it, and left the county from there.
How'd your parents feel about this? Did you talk to them?
Um, my dad at first he didn't come around first 5-6 months, but my mom she ended up getting, and I feel bad, bro. I might cry on this bitch, bro. You hear me? But shout out to my mom, man. And then for kids watching, like they can learn from this. Like, damn, this shit not cool. Like, cause when you go to jail, you think you can handle it, and you probably can, but your mom look at you like a baby, like the same baby that she was fucking breastfeeding. She don't look at you like no hardcore criminal that can go do time for years and shit. So my mom ended up getting too stressed out. You know, stress is what causes cancers and shit. So I seen her like lose weight, get sick. She got 2 diagnoses, lupus and something else, no cure. Both of them just cut all the stress. So that's how my mom took it. At the beginning and towards the end, she got stronger. But my dad, he'll be like tough love. Like he ain't come 5 months first, but when he did come to see me, in visitation unexpectedly, I walk in, I'm smiling and shit, happy to see him. He ain't smiling at nothing. I pick up the phone, he go off in Spanish, like going the fuck off on me, got me crying, like got a grown man crying because my dad still, right? All the times I disrespected him, like he cutting up. Then he disrespectful towards my mother, like blaming my mother. I gotta hear him talk bad about my mother. That's how he always been though. But that's how they took it.
Now, when you do a robbery like that, are you feeling bad, right after it happens? Or does it take days, weeks, months, years later to feel remorse?
It's like each robbery different. Each robbery gonna bring out a different reaction out of everybody. So it's like every person gonna leave a different like effect on you. But at the same time, it's like no remorse at the same time. 'Cause at that time, like while I'm doing it, I don't see that I should feel bad for it. I got enough problems of my own. And it would be so wicked, bro. Like I remember I ain't get caught for this one, but I ain't gonna just allegedly though. But this is an example of what I feel. But I remember one dude, this was around the time it was Halloween, bro. I ain't gonna say too much, but man, I seen a grown man scream and run for his life to where like I couldn't even get nothing. So it's like you trying, but it's like sometimes, like every time, there's gonna be something you gonna be sitting up thinking about this shit, like playing this shit back in your head, like damn, this a grown ass man screaming, running for his life. At that point, it was kind of funny to me, but they're just diabolical, right? But now I look like, man, if it was the wrong person I ran up on, he would have killed me. Or like better, it would have been easier to just get killed. Imagine I get put in a wheelchair cause he just go off, pull his gun out and paralyze me. Or I gotta have a shit bag. Like it's so many other ways that it could have went. And now that I'm older, I'm grateful that it didn't go down like that. But when I was going through that shit, I was like retarded, like thinking this shit was funny, bro. Like also, cause like the trauma that I had, like I kind of wanted people to feel any kind of pain that I was going through. So that hurt people. So that was my mindset at that time with the robberies that I was going. I really didn't give a fuck. I didn't care about like nah. Yeah, nah. It's some people I felt like certain shit I was doing. Some people deserved that shit, but then certain people didn't deserve that at all, right? But yeah, like it was real like a ruthless way of thinking.
What prison did they send you to?
Um, I started off at Plainview was my set unit. Plainview unit. It was kind of in Texas. You got ID units and you got transfer units. ID units is like the big houses, it's like maximum security, the red brick units. These the like gladiator tanks, gladiator units. So when you at a transfer unit, that's kind of like weak. Like people look at transfer units, they ask, "Oh, you was on a transfer unit? Oh, it must have been friendly over there." So it's like that's like a standard, like, or you don't meet the standard if you're at the transfer unit. So the first pod that I went to, it was H pod. This was the most fucked up pod out the whole tank, right? Out the whole unit. This is one tank that I got sent to. And then, like, mind you, they do that on purpose, like, oh, they gonna send all the aggravated robberies, aggravated assaults. If you got more than 40 years, they automatically send you to an ID unit. You don't go through transfers and shit. But it'd be crazy because it be people that got 2 years that's like supposed to be on their way out, supposed to be at home in a couple of months, probably 1 year or something, to go home to your family. But it be them feeling like they got something to prove. Like they start getting insecure because, oh, you only got 2 years, or oh, you ain't put enough work in. So it's like you got people that's going like foot soldiers for that mediocrity. It's it's evil, bro, because you're being ignorant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not taking that time to grow. And soon you gonna see, though, it's a bottomless pit. Like, you only get in a fucked up situation. Doing bad, it's only gonna get worse in that place, right? So and on this tank at first, it was real racist. Like, 2 tanks over, it was a paisa, Mexican from Mexico. He ate with a black dude. And in that unit, like, they set the tone like, oh, well, if you're racist eating with a different, basically just black people though, because white people and Mexicans, they can eat and it's not gonna be no big ass deal about it. But the Mexican that ate with the black dude, days later, his gang plotting on him. Like, every day, like, they spend time, like, politicking on your life. You might not even know it. You just ate with them. You don't even know. They finna come send a whole group of men to damn near kill you. That same dude got curve flighted, sent on a helicopter. And that's when I started, like, learning about shit like that. Like, oh, you can get sent off on a helicopter. Oh yeah, because you're in the middle of nowhere. So the nearest hospital, the quickest way to get you there, if it's life threatening, they're gonna fly your ass on the helicopter and shit. So yeah, that was what was going on that unit. But mind you, it's like a chip on their shoulder. Like, it's still not gangster enough. Like, it needs to be more gangster, because this is only a transfer unit. Like, the big houses, that's where all the gangster shit is. So this ain't gangster enough. But I'm hearing about this shit, but I'm in my own tank. I understand that. And I'm young. Mind you, I live on 19, 20 and shit. This house niggas stay in, this people that's 30, 40. And it's like they still size you up. Don't matter how old you is. But the only person that I kinda like could vibe with in the middle of nowhere, mind you, I'm falling out of Dallas. So it's like, you get sent to West Texas, Plainview, Texas, you start getting around people from El Paso that you never even dealt with. Like, you probably don't got no similarities with him. Or you probably do. You don't know who you meet. You got people from down South Texas border towns, like, they look at me like something wrong with me, like, why he talk like that? Or where the fuck he come from? Like, what is it? You run with black people? Like, that's the type of questions that people was like wondering about me. You know what I'm saying? And they'll ask, but they'll ask in a different way. Like, oh, you a blood? But really they want to know, oh, you around with black people? But they ask me, oh, you a blood? I'm like, no, like, oh, you got a red tattoo though. Like, I just like red. got a lot of red tattoos. Ain't no blood sick where I'm from. And I'm like, oh, okay. But whole time they like, man, he riding with black people. And then like this the same unit where shit, if you eat with a black dude, you gonna get sent in a helicopter and shit. So it was my neighbor. His name Fetty. He a pimp, right? He used to tell me about all the pimp stories, bro. I used to just get like game from that shit, cause like you got pimps down there, like them motherfuckers be smart, bro. Like them, they different. Like, and I got to see this shit, right? He was my neighbor. Like, that's how I did my time at that time, like just riding, like, oh, what happened that day? Well, Harry Hines is known in Dallas as one of the biggest hostros in the country. And he's telling me about what's going on up there and shit. It's shit like a movie. One thing led to another. The next thing you know, we eating. You know what I'm saying? Eating with this man after this other dude got sent on a helicopter for the same shit. Then it's like people feeling like, damn, like you just broke a big rule, a big penitentiary rule. Then I'm coming in this shit not even like paying attention to it. Like, oh no, it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? But shit, that built up a lot of tension. Fetty ended up getting moved because that was like right when people started getting their jobs. You know, they got the whole squad in TDC, like people work the fields, go pick up potatoes and shit. Real slave work, you know what I'm saying? In Texas, they got one of their biggest sources of like where they make money is the free labor they get from the Texas prison system. You know what I'm saying? It's some money come up out them, you know, and shit, Fetty wasn't going. I had did so much paperwork to where like I put myself in school to avoid getting that job because they were gonna send me out there. If you got violent charges, you the first one that's gonna go out there. I don't think they do that no more. I think they just stopped making people go out there in 100-degree weather and working from 8 to 2 like a real for free. If anything, you just get an extra tray or some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, one time Fetty got into it with the law and bucked him. So they took his shit from our tank and put him in like lockup and shit. So after that I couldn't really like I couldn't see him no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I just started like being more like to myself. And it was another dude named Wedo. He had like my same name. My name Wedo, but his name Wedo G and shit. He was from Murillo. And the whole time he like getting the pills in. Like he's the dude that's getting the pills smuggled to the unit by the police, by the correctional officers. He's in this tank with us. You know what I'm saying? And like he just see how I move. So like I don't know. I had favor, bro. Like people would just wanna like bless my game, like feed me when I ain't have nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like not every time, but little shit like that I remember, bro. And it be some top niggas like from different cities. You know what I'm saying? That just I had like good camaraderie with some stomp down men, like wise. I'm gonna ask questions. So like they have businesses that they left in the world, and I'm asking, oh, how you run your business, asking questions, oh, what it's like to have that, you know, and have your own building, how much you pay, or what our insurances you need, and how it work, how it feel having a staff, how does that work? You know, that's how people will grow to like me. Cause it's like, man, he got potential. He might come home and do something with his life. You know what I'm saying? But I ended up getting shipped from that unit for, they say it was a race ride. But this what was crazy. I'm fucking with Wedo G, right? And he's a Paisa. Mind you, this the same gang that care flighted the last Mexican that ate with a black dude. But like I said, the favor that I got, like, thank God, like they didn't do that shit to me, bro. Like, just imagine like they ain't give dude no heads up. Like whenever they choose shoot that gas at you and the wolves come get you, like you ain't gonna know. And like I just thank God, like that shit didn't catch me off guard. If anything, it was people trying to put me in position. You know what I'm saying? The big thing down there was like winning a correction officer. That was like a big goal that I set for myself. I didn't have no woman hold like riding it out with me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I was in the free world, I didn't have like I was just like a dog ass dude, like fuck bitches and cut them off. So like when I'm in prison, shit, I can't even reach out to no because all the women I dealt with, they hurt. They mad how I did them. So now I gotta be down here without like no company from a woman. I'm trying to break one of the correction officers. I'm in front of their face every day when they down here. So it was like I got to like where G had broke the law. So now I'm like, man, well, how that shit go? Like people ain't gonna tell you. People don't even want to share that type of shit with you. Like you're not supposed to tell people, oh, well, I got all this going on. But if they trust you enough, shit, they'll tell you, you know. And I learned slowly like that, like learning how to manipulate the laws and the confidence you gotta have, just shit that I take note on. But whole time it was tension growing with they got the Tango Blast. The Tango Blast was in that tank. It was like it could be one bad apple that'll fuck up the whole bunch, bro. And that's how that was. It was just one dude that he was older. And because he was older, he had kind of like that seniority, like he kind of had a leadership position. And when you got that position, especially in prison, like you can crash out the whole tank if you don't know what the fuck you doing. You don't know how to handle certain situations, and a lot of times it be about fear, cause you don't know how to handle what's going on based off your fear. But people are swerving down there, they not scared. But I learned one thing, bro. Everybody's scared down there. Like nobody's gonna come out, oh, I'm scared. Everybody's gonna try to, oh, I'm not scared. But you gotta learn how to read through that shit. But there was this, mind you, on this tank, Fetty, the pimp dude I'm telling you got moved. He was probably like the stiffest black dude over there. So now that he left, it's probably like 2-3 other black people that like they weren't as aggressive. So like all these Woods and Mexicans and they get to see that, it's like preying on a weak. Like you shouldn't have shown weakness, even if it's out of your control. It's like it's only 4 of y'all in here, but it's outnumbered. You know what I'm saying? But it was a black dude came in there, and he started skipping the phone and shit, and he not knowing that like these people on some racist shit in here, and they already look at like the black car like, oh, they gonna run all over them because they don't got no numbers. And then that shit get wicked, bro. Like people participate in that shit, and there's strength in numbers. And like me, I was like against the grain because I wasn't in that. I wasn't in that I wasn't on that type of time. I was like, shit, cool with the black folks. So his name was Shirek. Shirek came in there and he skipped like 2-3 people on the phone. It's a phone list. And the 2-3 people that got skipped, bro, they'll go to their homeboys and tell them, oh, bro, just skip me. And it's like, dude that skipped, like he got some size on him. Big dude. Like this is the stiffest black dude that they got. And he just come over here hogging shit, right? They were kiting him out of other tanks because he was skipping them over there. But he came to the right tank to do that shit at because these folks got something for you, right? Like they plotted on him, and it was supposed to be a one-on-one, bro. But the people that was getting skipped, they were, oh, he too big for me, all that shit, all that picking and choosing shit. But like, I'm the youngster, right? I'm the young dude getting introduced to this. But it's like if you don't have nobody stepping up and like, man, nah, you gotta run this shit like that. Like you gotta be the speaker for the tank. You gotta prevent all this shit that can make everybody just get shook. And that's eventually what ended up happening. The dude that got skipped, he ended up like sneaking him. You're not supposed to sucker punch, sneak nobody in prison. You're not supposed to stomp on them. When you fighting, you're supposed to let them back up. It's all type of little rules that they got that prevent a big riot and shit. But dude had snuck Chirac. His name was Bubbles, bro. It was a dude named Bubbles that popped the riot off. That's how goofy this shit was. But he got skipped, so Bubbles had like snuck up on him. Mind you, there's a corner that's kind of like a blind spot, and that's where you go to work out. I was working out at this time, and then what they would do, they'll be like, lace up, like put your shoes on. So once they get thrown in the air, put your shoes on. That means some shit gonna happen. But that whole week prior, like I've been hearing put your shoes on for 4 or 5 days straight, bro. And I've been putting my shoes on, and I'm really like, before that happened, I'm really like I'm sizing shit up. Like I think this dude I'm gonna have to fight because it's tension in the air. But it wasn't nothing popped off, bro. I remember one time my mom came driving from Dallas to Plainview. It's a 6-hour drive. Man, I got woke up before I could even go to visitation. Dude, like, what a G, like, hey, yo, it's probably gonna be a fight in a couple of hours and shit. Just put your shoes on. Whole time I got visitation. You know what I'm saying? But it is, man, you gotta partake them in my perspective at that time, and it wasn't the right thing. Cause like, damn, my mom, like, think about that. She go out her way to drive 6 hours, bro, to come see you, and like, my mind said, well, man, I gotta get ready for this fight, just cause it's a survival thing. Like, if I don't follow up with this, something might happen to me. Something could already been happening to me. So this kind of like, man, this is gonna keep me afloat if I go in there and fight. So I'm fucking my mind up like that whole time. It's not even no fight. I go to visitation, I'm good. So the last time they say put the shoes on, I don't even take this shit serious. Whole time they finna pop it off on them about this phone, but I'm just working out. You know, I'm in the corner. I'm trying to get big. I was smaller then. You know, I just felt like, man, I gotta get my weight up. So I didn't even give a fuck about what was going on. Whole time Bubbles come and sneaking him, and this is how weak this shit was. But shout out to Bubbles, but it just was so weak, bro. Cause man, they at that time they were really acting like, oh, we had a fucking riot. Man, that shit was not no riot. I had seen riots in middle school, like kids knocking people unconscious, and I'm seeing adults in the prison. Like, nah, that's not the same thing. But they swear up and down it is. And when Bubbles had like sucker punch Chirac, he ain't do nothing to him. Chirac turned around, hit him 2 times, and knocked Bubbles on the floor. And Bubbles hit his head on the locker. Whole time he's in front of me. So like, I turn around, that shit popped off right in front of me, to where like my first instinct is to help up Bubbles, cause this is your fight. You know what I'm saying? And then you on the floor, I'm just gonna help you up. But his homeboys blitzed Chirac. Then the Woods, the white dudes, they came in and showed out. Cause them people from West Texas, them country white dudes, that's a different breed, bro. Like, they started saying racial terms I've never heard. And it's like they introducing me to their culture. You know what I'm saying? And it's real like real Vikings, you know what I'm saying? And they were deep. They had numbers. So they were like, man, they were trying to prove their point. And before like the Sarge could walk in, like, you know, they see that on the camera. So it's probably like 3-4 minutes of just people in there getting chased. You know, it's already outnumbered. It's literally like a 50-man tank with only 4 black people. So it's probably like 6 people on each black dude, or they under the table running. Like, that shit really going on. And I'm sitting back, like, mind you, I just helped Bubbles get up off the floor. Bubbles threw that weak ass shit, and he got knocked out, and he got back up. That shit was over with for him, but that was his business to handle. But he didn't. Instead, he got the whole tank crashed, and I swear to God, I ain't never told him about this, bro. But I remember as I was walking, I didn't know whether to go jump in a fight or I don't know what to do. But I just remember like I felt like two like imaginary hands just holding me, but it was like wicked though. It didn't feel good. It just felt like some more shit was going on, and I just remember hearing like weird like a flash noise, like a flashbang noise, and I just remember seeing that shit take place, and it just like it went further, and that caused for the SARS to come to the door like 4 minutes later. They ain't even gassed that bitch. As soon as the SARS walked in, everybody was at their bunk. Mind you, when it's a real riot, like the team come in with shields and they spray that bitch down. Like they didn't spray nothing down in that tank. Everybody was at their seat. I'm telling you, really wasn't even too much shit to get active with. It wasn't black folks. They weren't having enough numbers to fight back, bro. And that shit led to like an investigation to where like it took probably like the rest of the day. They started interviewing people like what happened and shit. I mean if you didn't say nothing, well you gonna go to the back and begin the process of getting shook. And if you did say something, well you can stay and we'll just house you somewhere else. Where I chose not to say nothing. I don't know what happened. I just looked up. I was working out. I'm like, okay, well, you getting booked. I go back. And then on top of getting maxed out by the staff, I got inmates and shit asking me like kids, bro. Like, what you do, bro? What you do in the riot, bro? Like, all that shit. I'm like, that wasn't no riot. Like, bro, y'all supposed to run ones. Y'all supposed to get this shit over with. Y'all got everybody in this bitch finna get sent to the maximum security. And then this just started my journey. Like, I'm supposed to stay out the way, get certificates and shit. Before I can even do that, finish my class in school, I get shipped to a maximum security for this weak ass riot. But it was kind of like some politicking going on, but on some slick shit. Like they're like, oh, so you ain't do nothing? Damn, you ain't. They started trying to put that jacket on me. Oh, you ain't ride. You didn't ride for the Mexicans. Like, damn, that shit get you fucked off. Then whole time it's just secret indictments coming on the inmate behalf. Not to mention the correctional officers. They already speaking on giving free world charges off this shit. Then it's a different county. You know what I'm saying? So like you gotta, when you catch free world charges in prison, while you're in TDC, you're gonna get a bench warrant back to a different county, go to court, then go back to TDC. You know, that's all the shit that I was facing right at the beginning of my 7-year sentence. I only had like 1 year done. I gotta do 3.5 before I come off for parole. But now I'm looking like by the time I come off for parole, I'm barely just gonna start getting up out this shit. They'll probably deny that shit. So I'll come up about 6-7 years, about a 5-6 year mark. But I learned the law. Shit, you got all that time on your hands. I started investigating. How can we write a grievance? How can we fight this? Man, all of us roll this shit out together. Just writing grievances. Step 1 got denied. Oh, go on, bring us to step 2. Let's fill out the step 2. Fill that bitch out. Got the case overturned. Probably 2 months down the line, but 2 months down the line, we already got shipped. We already hit my maximum security unit that I hit. It was all red unit in Wichita Falls, James V. All Red. They call it Bloody All Red. And this shit crazy. I got on a chain bus. This is the psych patient chain bus, but it caught our chain because these the G5s. That's what I got. The custody level, you got a general population, and once you get a serious charge like a riot charge, they put you like at the bottom of the prison. Like, oh, it's G5 custody, it's closed custody. That means you get 23 hours in the cell with a cellie and 1 hour recreational. And then after 1 year doing that, you do 6 months G4 medium custody, which is you do like 4 hours in the day room and like 20. It's just they start letting you up off. Like there's a jail within jail. So like once you go through these steps and stages, you come back to general population level. But immediately when I got down there, you start at the worst. You know, the worst level under that was SEG, which is like you don't got no celly. But sometimes at the beginning, it kind of looked safer to go and SEG. Like it kind of was safer for. I thought it was for me to sit in the cell and probably go crazy, but at least I don't gotta worry about getting killed. Cause when I got on the chain bus, I'm just listening to everybody talking. It was one dude from ATX from Austin, and he had like 50 years, like young little dude, bro. Like you be seeing people look like they 18 years old. How much time you got? 45. I got 5 years on that bitch. They're like, I had some Versace's and shit, and they're like, dude just walked up to me. Let me buy them. Let me buy them Versace's, bro. Damn, like just starting conversation with me like that. But before you know it, like he just telling me everything what's going on. Oh yeah, I already, man, there's a lot of psych patients, G5, people that, just lost their mind back there taking psych meds every day. You don't know what he'll do. Then the fans, the weapons that they was using, they had shanks and shit too, but the fan motor was what was the popular, was the hot commodity over there. Like that bitch, they'll put it in a sock and man, just blow your head, like pop your top. You know what I'm saying? Like you get hit with that fan motor at full speed, you gonna die. You know what I'm saying? And that was a real thing. Like it was because of the psych patients tripping out. Like once your cellie in close custody will be the most dangerous person out of everybody. Because when you go to rec, you probably be out here for 1 hour with these people, but shit, they don't gotta live with you. But your cellie though, then like if y'all start fighting in here, like you don't know what'll go down. Like there's so many sharp corners, the edges of the table. If your noggin hit that shit too hard and you're unresponsive, and you might die, bro. And it's crazy because people don't think that shit serious. Like just bare hands, like that's one thing. But if you fall back and put all your weight on an accident like that, man, it'll kill you for real. And that's how that I left that first unit I was at, and I hit the maximum security though.
Now, were you still, I guess, independent in the maximum security?
Well, for Mexicans, they call it solo. So when I came in there, they're like, who you run with? Oh, I'm solo. But the Mexicans is so strict, like the prison system within the Mexican community, like even though you're not in a gang, you still gotta go through certain procedures like if you were in a gang. So it's kind of like, I was solo, I still was like somehow, some way had to participate in the shit that they had going on, whether it was violence or whatever, as far as just like, it's just violence though. That's the only thing I was participating in that I felt I was forced in, just violence. Yeah.
And that's all because you're a Mexican. Like
Yep.
you have to stick with them.
Because it's called like heart check. Like, from my understanding, they say, oh, you solo, you get a heart check. They'll take it easy on you. They'll probably put somebody in your weight class around that time like 160. So I'm thinking I'm gonna fight somebody 160. But the way they run it to you, it's like, man, they baking a cake for you. You know what I'm saying? It's either way though. They can be like, oh, okay, we're gonna do this right now, gonna run it. And they trying to see your reaction. Like it's like chess in there, bro. Like they gonna throw shit at you, just try to see your reaction. And that's just the beginning part. Then when it's like, when you thought this shit was cool, that when they pull up, okay, well, after child, we're gonna meet in the shower and we're gonna fight in there. And yeah, that's how they talk to you. That's how you gotta show up for yourself. And I'm thinking we cool. It be my people. I'm thinking it's my partner, and it is my partner. But it just, the fighting was recreational in there. It was like mandatory, and especially because how I look like a pretty boy. Like, man, they thought they could break me, bro, but they couldn't. I just had kept my head up and shit, kept God first, bro. That's the only way I made it out there. Shit, I stayed prayed up. And I stayed in that Bible too, you know what I'm saying? I read a lot of scripture when I got scared. A lot of that scripture helped me out. I built courage off of reading them scriptures and stuff.
So what even is the difference between running solo or being in a gang if it's the same rules?
That's how the penitentiary it'll contradict itself in different ways, different occasions. Like they say, it's different strokes for different folks. It's really like that, bro. Cause like I said, I came to the unit where they sent a Mexican dude on a helicopter for eating with a black dude, but I come eat with a black dude, and I don't take parts in the race ride that they had. Man, they supposed to kill me for sure. Like, you broke one rule, then you broke the next one. But shit, man, I'm seeing how pressure built up and just how I had to show up for myself, bro. And then, like I said, like, I believed in something greater than me. But the way that shit would play out, like, and I just had to face my fears, you know what I'm saying? And the more and more I face my fears, the more and more like I'll grow to who I am now.
So those specific rules, like sitting with a black person, don't apply to you because you're not in the gang. Is that how that works?
No, it's really like, it's just like, man, if they gonna fuck you over, they gonna fuck you over.
So
But
they just pick and choose.
type shit. And like, it's kind of like, I kind of made them feel like they could fuck me over. Just off, okay, if he didn't participate in the race riot, he must not fight. He must not finna fight. But when they see that, oh, like, they brought that shit out of me, they want to bring this shit up, talk about it, and they see, oh, man, he look like he finna go up right now. And then, okay, but it didn't be like a lot of times they do that when they got numbers. Like, that's what's crazy. Like, they'll politic on your life with 2, 3, 4 other people, but it's like the shit that they trying to get me in trouble for, it's like they not gonna be held accountable for that shit. But it's not no specific gang though. It's just certain people at a certain place at the right time, wrong. Like at the right time, you catch yourself at the right time, man. You'll get yourself fucked over just cause it's 2, 3 people riding together. They feel more confident about this shit, and it happened to pop off. But then it might be another situation where somebody might want to bring these 2 people to try to like politic on your life for something bad, and like they might not be on that shit cause they really reasoning with whatever I'm saying, but he the only one that was trying to get me fucked off. But it's like he's not doing anything about it, and he thinks that his homeboy is finna do it for him. So like shit like that, then it's just all human psychology. Cause I'm sitting back studying everybody. I'm sitting back like, oh, then that's how he rocking. Like, you want to do this shit with company. You want to do this shit with help. Like, then when they see that, man, I don't need no help. But I told you where I get my help from. Higher source of real power. Cause like I say, like not everybody just could like say what I'm saying. Like other people probably would have went different.
Did you know you were done with that criminal lifestyle before you got out of prison?
Hell no. And this is why though, cause when you hit the maximum security, I didn't know till now. Like I'm reflecting now. Like yeah, I never thought like that because the lifestyle that I had to be accustomed to, it was like it was changing me. Slowly but surely, it was really making me like a convict. Cause I'm around nothing but convicts. Like I'm paying attention to shit that convicts paying attention to. But how can I be ready for the free world and the law-abiding citizen when I'm around people that's doing the exact opposite? That's being bold enough to try to beat that shit. And that's the thing, the shit that I had to live with, like lifers. I'm around lifers. So I can't think like no free world dude. Cause I might show weakness. If they get the impression that, oh, he wanna go home, like that's like not a good look for me to continue trying to thrive in this community. Like if I'm having stuff and like people might want to come do something to me because they think I'm weak, you know what I'm saying? So it was a responsibility for me to keep up with this lifestyle. Like, oh, they don't give a fuck, so I can't give a fuck. And it's like, it's shit crazy how I still went home. Like, I could have gotten more time. Like I'm saying, other people that try to do the shit I do, like, they mess their parole off. Or they end up catching the extra charge. So, like, I know it's a favorite thing. Like, because, man, not everybody can just try to do that shit, especially the Mexican. Because, like, in them Dallas, like, the Tango Blast, they big in Dallas. They big in the penitentiary. They got a saying, if you not blasting, you not lasting. So me, like, I wasn't blasting, but I was lasting. But at the same time, it's like, it's people that can do that. Just cause I knew how to move. Like, I'm not out here thinking that I'm better than nobody. I'm just respectful though. I'm gonna respect myself and I'm gonna respect everything or everybody around me. But at the same time, like, it might be somebody else try to do that shit and he fucked up just one way, went about it the wrong way, and now that shit completely went left for him. Like that be the case for other people, but luckily for me, I was like, man, I was blessed, bro. Cause yeah,
What year did you get out of prison?
2022.
So after what, 4.5 years? You
Four
did?
and a half. So that was like when I got my G2. Like I said, I started at the bottom of that prison, but when I got my case overturned, I went from being in close custody to they moved me to high security, which was like kind of like a little island within the prison. But I got to see that shit over there before I got sent to my regular housing in the building. So that was kind of like overflow. So I went through the overflow, uh, the overflow building, and it was almost another riot finna take place. That's the thing though. It's like in that prison, it was stressful because it's like, man, I'm hoping that it's not gonna be a riot for real this time. Cause then the last time it probably was a weak riot, but this time, like, telling there might be somebody coming for me this time. The last one, it wasn't nobody coming for me, so I ain't feel like I had to do anything. But just by you not getting active, just by you not participating, then you get smoked for that shit. Oh, you gonna catch the wall in the middle of a riot. But it's like, shit, like the riot that took place for me wasn't even no real riot because they got overturned. So it's just like, it's easy for somebody to try to put a bad jacket on you. And once that bad jacket put on you, I mean, it's hard to lose it. And down there, especially, you gotta do year for year for year. And it's like, man, I just felt like being around all them lifers, it's like I had to live like them. Like I had to live like I'm doing a life sentence too, cause I mean, we all men here, and some people will get ahead of themselves. Some people will try to like be predators, however they want to go about it, whether it's taking something from you or trying you in a whole different way. And I got to see that down there, cause like I seen men treat like other men like women, like, and then they was acting like women. Like what I mean by women is like the submission. Like I seen men submit to other men, and like I remember the look in their eyes, bro. Like they're just soulless. You know what I'm saying? Like far gone. Like man, that shit was bad because the gay shit was real. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the place where people done spent 20 years, 30 years. Like you got an old man over there that's been here since the 90s and he ain't finna go home anytime soon. So it's like it's a different atmosphere. Cause not everybody gay, not everybody that got a lot of time gay, cause there's a lot of people that still stand on their same principles. You know what I'm saying? Got people in the world that's supporting them and giving them the hope they need to not just fall victim to whatever the fuck they doing. You know what I'm saying? But that shit was going on like I remember the shower that we were using. Fucking a gay dude, the punk came and there was another punk that was staying with us, and he fucking him in our shower, bro. But it's like on some slick shit, like you know they in love for real, bro. And it's like you gotta like you trying to look at the TV, then before you know it, it's like where did one dude go? Cause you're aware of everything. Like, oh, there's somebody that's not staying in our tank just came in here. Okay, 5 minutes later, where the fuck he at? Then it's like, man, I hope he not in our shower. Man, he in our shower. Oh, now we gotta do something about it. And then it's like it's like you either part of the problem or you part of the solution. And then luckily the people that I was around, it was part of the solution, you know. But it's like you gotta tie your shoes up for that shit. But when I hit this unit, when I first hit general population on a maximum security, it was a young black dude named Broderick Patterson. He's the one that made this book, right? But he has been locked up since he was 16. But at that time when he came on the pod, he was like 10 years flat. Like he did 10 years flat. And I just remember, like at that time, I only had 2 years in the system almost. But I just remember like how different people, it's like a different breed. Like if you've been down there 10 years, like you're a different breed. Like they be like different. They cut different. Like just they been down there for so long, used to their routines. They usually got a lot of size on them. They head up. They real smart. They read a lot of books, a lot of literature. You know what I'm saying? Then like the perseverance that you go through all this shit and still try to keep a sane mind. Like I just noticed that in their auras, not at everybody, because it might be somebody do 10 years in the system and it's just completely different than these folks that I'm talking about. Might not have the same ethics and morals that they got, the same leadership skills that they got, right? But Boogie, he peeped me, you know what I'm saying? He seen how, like I say, like that favor was real, cause my celly, he was a Mexican, and I'm thinking this is my real friend and shit, right? But it's like he did 10 years too. He was 10 years flat. So when I moved in the cell with him, he kind of was like just explaining to me how it is. But just cause we Mexican, it's supposed to be like understood. Like, oh, if you need something, I got you. Whatever it is, a soup, you need some soap. You don't got no shampoo, whatever it is. Even if you the police took your boxers, I got extra pair of boxers. Like that's expected out of like the Mexicans. That's how you gotta be there for your people. But whole time, like nigga probably saying little slick shit about me, like, and I got my partners telling me, like, just telling me, like, bro, he ain't your friend, like, I know that's your seller and shit, but like, don't think he fuck with you. But then it's like he ain't telling me in my face, you know what I'm saying? But it's just like little fuck shit like that like I gotta go live with him in the cell. Like when we get racked up and we in that bitch, like I just don't talk to him no more. Just cause like, you know what I'm saying? I just started picking up. Like it's I'm aware. Like, okay, if they saying that you saying this, I'm just waiting to see what you really gonna do. But they also trying to see like, oh, can I put the key in this young nigga back? Can I make him fight just off saying something? How quick will he lose his temper just off? But it's like I was smarter than that. You know what I'm saying? But one thing about him though, his name was Gallo. He used to sleep with a knife. He was shorter though. He was small. I know I could beat him up. But it's like, and then the way I found out about his knife, it was on accident. Cause the window had like burglar bars on it, and that knife had tilted over on accident, just made a loud ass noise and shit. But I just knew he in that bitch toting that knife. So it's like you gotta think, it's a real like, it's a mental battle, because just cause you could beat them up physically, like you can't underestimate nobody. But then at the same time, it's like you gotta wait for this shit to present itself for you to be able to do whatever you want to do. It gotta be a certain way, you know. In that tank, it was up under the TV. That's where all the fighting go on, or in the shower. But in the cell, people do fight in the cell too. But it's just like, no, it's a certain way to go about it. But luckily, like me and him, like it never went to no friction other than just knowing that my partner said he don't really fuck with me. I'm not gonna fully believe him, but I ain't just gonna fully believe him either, cause I don't know nobody in this bitch. And I'm like I said, I'm solo. You know what I'm saying? So Boogie had like he kind of like, I don't know if he knew what was going on with that, but he ended up paying to get me moved in the cell with him. And that was a real friend though, you know what I'm saying? Cause when I got around Boogie, it wasn't about nigga telling me, talking about me behind my back, none of that shit. And yeah, that shit could have really started something too, cause like Boogie had a dirty ass celly. So he was like, man, go on put that nigga in that nigga shit. And he had to deal with it, but he ain't speak up on it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it could have led to a bigger altercation, but I'm just sitting back, like, paying attention, like aware. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen 2 times more than I speak. That's why, you know, I was able to survive, cause like I wasn't just too ahead of myself. I was staying sharp, and that shit ended up like he ended up like going home and shit. But Boogie had life. He got locked up when he was 16, so he facing a life sentence every day. And like he at that time, like, you know, we were in the game, like getting commissary, but not from the commissary window. Like inmates coming paying us commissary, cause you know we got the motion, and I don't even finna incriminate myself about what I was doing, cause I never caught no cases like that down there. The only case I caught was that Riot case, and they got overturned. And I'm not finna bring up nothing, but it's a survival thing. Like them times that they didn't let us go to the store, we got an opportunity to go to commissary, this our date, but somehow, some way, they just said, fuck y'all not going, y'all gotta wait another 2 weeks. But this how we survive. We gotta have something to eat at a certain time. You know, you get fed at 4 in the morning, then 12, then 4 p.m. But you might get hungry at 8, might get hungry at 10 at night. And if you don't got nothing in your locker, then shit, you can't eat nothing. But it was just like finding a way, bro. I really, then my neighbor Franco, I gotta speak on this shit because he ended up getting in trouble for it. But Franco was bringing in the dope. Like, he was young too, you know. He had won a correction officer and manipulated them to come bring that shit in. And I remember when we didn't have nothing, we were sharing bean tacos. Like, we would cook the bean in a bowl and put a fucking tortilla, put the bean. That's like the cheapest form of a taco in there, and that's what we had to eat sometimes, because you know that's how it was for us surviving. But getting past that, and then shit going from that to having a locker full. He got a locker full. I got a locker full. He helping me. Like, my people can't send me no money. My mom got sick. My dad fell off. But I need commissary. Shit, the people that I'm around, they helping me get in position. They them IDs and shit. Like I was getting rid of that shit. And they're fucking with Boogie. Then Boogie had like a Malcolm X reincarnation mindset. Like, and I asked him like, what? I asked these type of questions like, man, what's your favorite book? I asked him that. He said when he went to SEG, he read Malcolm X, and that shit just like it enlightened him. And ever since then, like he been on some revolutionary shit. So I was in the cell with a revolutionary dude, like put me on history, like up until that case, up until that point, like I didn't even care for history, but just being ignorant and realizing, damn, you don't know nothing. Then realizing what's really going on, history repeats itself. Then you like, okay, well, you can learn from this dude. He built his empire doing this. So it's like, okay, take what you can get from it. And all that was like being around somebody like Boogie. That was like my first like real friend in there. And I told myself when I went down there, like I wasn't gonna be too friendly. Like I was exposed to betrayal young. You know what I'm saying? Even though I still got some partners that been knowing me 15 years, like I said, my people in my neighborhood, that's real family to me. But it's people outside of that that just fucked my trust off. So when I went down there, I'm not really looking to make friends, but when I'm judging people by their fruits, and being around some good people though. Boogie was a real one. And yeah, that's how I made this book. That treated like dope. It's kind of like a self help for somebody that can relate to what I went through, what I'm going through, trying to beat the statistic, going back, beating your environment. Not only beating your environment, but bringing some to your environment to help reconstruct it in the best way. You know what I'm saying? I came from being real dumb. You know what I'm saying? Like the dumb decision, like what you asked me, like why I robbed them people, because I didn't come across this knowledge. I ain't come across this blueprint. And now that I've been exposed to it, I've been like practicing it more, being more consistent with it. But all that came from being in them situations and shit, like being in the cell with a lifer that wish they had this opportunity to be out here and shit.
How are you doing today? How have you been able to rebuild after prison?
I got like survivor's remorse. Like the people that stuck with me through them times, cause like I said, like I don't be overlooking that, bro. Like I was supposed to die in that bitch. Cause I know people that died. Like I know people that didn't make it. Like, and the shit that like the rules that I wasn't respecting down there that got other people fucked off, and then the favor that I had amongst like elite men in there, like respected, honorable men down there, like probably out here they don't even know they exist. But I done got to live with these people, like seeing how they handle situations up under pressure. You know what I'm saying? Like de-escalating the shit that can be de-escalating. But when it's time to like cut shit at the head, they gonna pull up and finish the shit. Finish whatever bullshit got started, they'll finish that. So it's like being able to be around them people, and not only be around them people, but them people ready to kill for me. They telling me like man, they fuck with me, and it's like now that I gotta leave, now that I left, and they still keep in contact with me, and not they don't ask me for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like they know, like, oh, he out there handling his business. I ain't even finna try to stress him out, asking him for no $20. I'm just trying to talk to him. Cause every time I talk to him, what you doing? I'm finna go pull up on Ian Bick on his podcast. It's like, damn, bro, I'm proud of you. You know what I'm saying? And that shit fuck with me. That shit had me like on some survivor's remorse, survivor's guilt. Cause it's like, damn, these people, these some live ass folks. Like, why are they not out here? Why is it that I went down there and they put me on this game, and I'm out here putting this shit together. But it's like they can't be out here with me. Like this shit'll fuck with me. But it's a good and a bad to it too though, cause when I was in prison, didn't have no company from no women. I just appreciate the women now. I appreciate that relationship way more now. Like being home, like I had a lot of pride, cause I felt like women owe me something. Like damn, wasn't nobody down there helping me, but they didn't send me down there. When it wasn't their fault that I was down there, it was my fault. But it was just the being able to see, oh, his bitch come up here to see him. They sending pictures to him and shit. He can hop on the phone and call her. She gonna answer. But like people that I'm reaching out to, old girl, she playing me stupid. Then this other girl, when she do call, she talking about she just got pregnant. I'm like, damn, like, man, I can't wait for when I get out. Like I'm gonna really cherish the companionship with a woman. Like that's something sacred. Like not only is it fun, but it can be real useful in your life. It can be real healing both ways. Like then like the woman that I had come across, I prayed like, I used to read the Fat Puff magazines and shit with all the strippers and shit. And bro, I used to just fantasize about them. Like I have them all over. Like I used to love strippers. Like then I just, man, that shit was like, that's how I did my time. Like, you just visualize it. It'll be years just staring at the wall, but I'm just like, man, I'm going like I got a goal. I got a mission. Like these women be like mentally scarred. Like I read one video vixen. She was speaking on how like one of the relationships was abusive physically. So it was like, man, this shit touched my heart. Like I want to come out there and heal one of them bitches. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to come out there and help change their life. Cause I know whoever they dealing with, it just took that for granted. Like you could have been there to help mold her and teach her what you've been learning. But if the dudes out here ain't learning nothing, ain't able to lead and teach and come with good ideas, then that shit gonna be hard. And that's kind of like what I fell victim to when I got out, just being too emotional, like being new to that shit, being new to having a real sexy, beautiful grown women around me. Shit, man, that shit took me fast, bro. But it taught me a lot about myself too, cause like all my flaws will come out to where like when her flaws come out, I'm just focused on her flaws and I'm not even realizing the triggers that I put out for. I'm not realizing that damn, I shouldn't have been talking like this. What make me feel like I could do this or feel how I feel? And whole time it was the pride. It was the pride and the resentment I had coming from prison. Like, damn, like I'm hurt that I ain't have no woman to be there for me. But now that I got a woman that want to be there for me, like I gotta be there for her. And what I did with this, it's like I came together with my woman, and I believe she my wife, right? And I gave her a ring pop. Got on one knee, gave her a ring pop, told her that, man, I want you to be my wife. And she said that's the sweetest thing that anybody ever did to her. And she been flew out the country, all type of shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's been years just of reflecting of okay, I fucked up how I started, but man, it's not too late to go back and retrack on your steps. And like in the Bible, it talk about Adam had Eve and Eve was his helper. And a lot of times, like in relationships, they don't be each other's helper for real. Like they put it out to where like they gotta work a garden together. So obviously, it's certain shit that a man can do that the woman can't do, that the man has to do. Then there's shit that the woman gotta do that the man can't do. So it's like you come together to work in unison. And with this right here, me and my baby did this, right? And it's an example of like how it's supposed to be when you working with your partner. Like I motivate people to have a business with each other. And whatever it is, like multiply. Like it don't necessarily mean multiply children. Like people think multiplying means just get together and have kids. No, get together, multiply blessings, multiply prosperity. You know what I'm saying? Like then it's stuff that we need help with in the world. People need to step up and like be pioneers and shit. Cause it's a lot of areas where it's like they need our help. Like especially with the diets, with the food that they give us. Like people complain, oh, they trying to kill us with the food, but we're the ones eating that shit. We're the ones that consume it. Okay, they want to sell the McDonald's or the fat foods, all this shit that they can give you a heart disease or bad cholesterol, bad blood pressure, the silent killers. Where we're the ones that are doing it to ourselves. What can we do to fight that? What awareness can we bring? How can we bring it? What influences can we use to try to like manipulate this shit? Or where all men have testosterone, and your testosterone produces itself, but when you younger, teenager, early 20s, it'll produce at a way quicker rate. When you start turning 30s and get older, your testosterone starts slowing down. That's without taking into consideration drinking, stress. You know what I'm saying? Whatever stress you out, that'll be the main killer to your testosterone. And if you're not taking the precautions to like give yourself a long run, like avoiding erectile dysfunction, shit like that. Like people need to know this now before it's too late, or you just looking right down, your dick don't get hard no more. Why? Oh, now your doctor telling you, well, because your diet or what you've been doing, how you've been handling your business as a man, like, it's not so healthy. But right now, like before it gets to that, it was me and my woman and came together and try to find a solution for that. You know what I'm saying?
So what is the business? Tell everyone what it is.
The product is called Sea Yelsha. It got 5 natural ingredients. One of them is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is like, it helps your cortisol level. Cortisol is like one of the main stress hormones that men have. And if it's at a high level, that shit not only kill your testosterone, but it be the stress that causes them tumors in your body that could kill you. And ashwagandha is just it's a mood tranquilizer type drug. It's not no like illegal drug, but it's a substance. And that's what the substance does to you. It like calms you down. It also is good for your libido, like your sexual performance. I got zinc in there. Zinc is one of the necessary ingredients to make testosterone on your own. Like it's one of the ingredients that you gotta have in your body. So we threw that in there. And it's some more in there that like it's strictly for sexual performance. Like people take the little blue rhino pills and the honey packs. They don't even know, like, man, that shit got a long-term effects that's not so beneficial for you. But during the time you taking them, whatever, it's like you're not knowing what you're doing to your body. Then that's the shit that they got at the gas station, at the corner. Like, that shit ain't good for you. So educate yourself, That's what the business basically is bringing awareness, enlightenment. So like you'll have like a better outcome with your body, because everybody got their own body to take care of. You know what I'm saying? The working out helps a lot, but shit, you gotta start somewhere. Like if you just feel like you don't gotta do nothing, man, you yourself will pay for that. Then your woman will too. You know what I'm saying? Cause she probably want to get satisfied, and man, it just gotta take care of your body. You gotta make sure the dick get hard. Yeah.
What would you tell your younger self if you could sit across from him today?
I was just talking about this, but I wouldn't do no talking. I just do straight punching, bro. On God, if I could see myself 15 years old, I'll put hands on him. But because like it's nothing that you could have told me, I would have to find out the hard way with my own experience, and that's why like the shit that I was doing, like that I just put hands on him. Cause it's just, man, a lot of shit that I'm ashamed of, like, but I gotta speak on it. You know what I'm saying? Just show my growth too. But like I say, if I knew better, I would have did better. But as soon as I got I got the blueprint that I'm trying to execute. I'm trying to put this shit to work.
Well, Luis, I appreciate you taking the time to come on the show today. This was a great episode, and I wish you the best in the future.
Thanks. I appreciate you. And like I just like a big check's like a milestone. I'm check this out, man. Pulling up on here, telling my story along with everybody else that did, and I'm just happy to be here, bro. I appreciate you.
I'm happy to have you.
I really, and I'm gonna give you this too, this for you though.
Awesome.
Yeah.